I think they use 800,000 gallons, as I recall, and this is a million too. That was a big deal.
I'm Crystal Anderson. I've been here for 36 years. My husband is a fifth generation family here, and we really want to see it to stay clean and safe for many generations to come.
Hi, I'm Misty Bloom, and I have been homeschooling 23 years. I moved out to Benson 7 years ago and bought property to raise our own food, to have cattle and other animals and livestock and organic vegetables for my family.
So we're out here today off of Highway 80 in Benson, and we're at the site of Aluminum Dynamics. Now that is a new plant that's coming into, that's being built on the east side of town. So tell me why that concerns you.
It concerns me because it's right on the river. It'll be disposing or emitting pollution right into the San Pedro River. And that river feeds all the way to Mammoth. And then from there it feeds into the Gila and more into Phoenix. I feel like this is not just a concern for Benson, but for all of Arizona.
My concern is I think that it's nuanced. There are many factors. There's the water issue, the fact that they're going to be using 1.2 million gallons annually. I think that even though I don't live super close to the plant, I'm concerned for all the people across the street that do. The noise pollution of a 24/7 operating plant, so that's something to consider. And aluminum particulate that the company's own air dispersion models show that we'll be releasing 52 tons of aluminum particulate into the air amongst other hazardous air pollutants annually.
So in the last few weeks, since you found out about it, you decided to organize and get neighbors together, let them know that this is happening. So tell me about that group and what you've done so far.
Yeah, so it started out as 5 people. And now it's way over 400, so it's growing very fast. It's only been about 3 days. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have heard everybody say, we just heard about this, yesterday or a week ago. The beauty of the No Benson Aluminum Plant group is that it is comprised of people from across the political spectrum. We've got ranchers working with environmentalists to stop this project.
Yeah, in the last few weeks, tell me what kind of people have responded. Who makes up your group?
Mostly concerned citizens, a lot of mothers raising their children who are concerned because their children are going to be playing at, Benson School, Lions Park, playing sports and outside. So there's a lot of mothers. We have people from outside the group that are experts on water, actually, that are telling us their experience with an aluminum plant. So we really have just a various gathering of people expressing concern in the group.
Now, you started a Facebook page.
Yes.
And I know you've gotten a bunch of comments there to let people know. What's your next step? I know that there is an informational meeting this weekend.
There's a lot of calls being made. The San Pedro River is actually protected, and there's federally protected birds. So, I think it's important for everybody to remember that the city of Benson belongs to the citizens, and, the river belongs to Arizona. It's one of our last free-flowing rivers in the Southwest. It's actually the last free-flowing river in the Southwest. And, the group is not anti-jobs. We're not anti-seeing Benson thrive. We, just like everybody else, want to see Benson thrive, but there's a health is more important than wealth. Health is greater than wealth issue here. So it's not that we don't want jobs or economic growth in the community. It's really that we don't feel that the cost is worth what we get.
When is your next contact with the city council and the mayor? Well,
I actually haven't contacted the city council and the mayor. My main objective has been informing people and giving people a space within the group to have a conversation about it.
And in the next, in the next few weeks, when you finally reach your goal, is your objective to stop the building, to have them modified? Because at this point, they have a permit to continue, and as long as they abide by the environmental quality rules and Benson's own, city rules, they can probably keep doing that.
Well, they are awaiting right now a Title V permit from ADEC. So while this property is actually zoned for this project, they are awaiting their ADEC permit, which is a Title I permit. It's actually a Class 1 permit, and that permit actually states that there's going to be emissions of hazardous air pollutants. And a lot of people will say, oh, it's going to be under the threshold. Well, until there's a non-compliance, and then what happens with those non-compliance? So I think that a lot of people in the group would prefer zero air pollution to, it's regulated.
I would also like to add that the company that came here is, their parent company is Still Dynamics, and they're known for not keeping up their regulations, and they have violations against them for not doing what they said that they were doing.
So historically, they've had some issues at some of their other plants.
Correct.
They did not comply.
With air pollution, with disposing, I think that should be, reviewed as well before accepting this type of business to come in and destroy and contaminate our lands.
So it would make people feel better if they knew there was a sophisticated enforcement mechanism. Even if they couldn't do anything about building it right, they would at least know that it's the safest possible plant. But they don't have a good track record, and now they've come to Benson. But recently, the company tried to set up this operation elsewhere
In Gila Bend.
In Gila Bend. So tell me what's happened there.
Gila Bend voted no.
Twice.
And they were one of the council members who was trying to get the word out, who had pros and cons. I thought it was a very well balanced thing he put out to his local group. He just tried letting the public know this is what it is and this is what could happen, but there's also benefits, and he did a great job of it, and he was actually named in a litigation. And then they re-voted, so they voted no twice, and then a couple months later they were at our doorstep.
And so in that case, they did the same thing, but members of the council basically would not take the risk.
They would not take the risk of it being so close in proximity to their community. And it's important to note too, the 3,500 gallons a day that by their own admission they will be using. We're on a prehistoric aquifer that doesn't replenish itself.
And so in the next few days, tell me what are you going to do on the ground to get the word out?
Keep spreading it.
Keep just talking about it. Yeah, that's all we were trying to do, is get the information out and educate ourselves. And all of this information is very readily available. Their own admission and the ADEC permit that they're asking for. This is very readily available information out there.
And for your group, where can they go to get info?
No Benson aluminum plant.
On Facebook?
Yes, on Facebook.
All right, well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Started raining.